Phillips Arena. Let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First of all, for visiting Minnesota, Kevin Garnett is joined up front and forward by Malik Sealy. Joe Smith is out with a respiratory infection. Rasho Nesterovic is the center with Terrell Brandon and Anthony Peeler in the backcourt. The Hawks offer Alan Henderson, Dikembe Mutombo, and Jim Jackson, with Bimbo Coles and Isaiah Ryder in the backcourt. The head coach of the Timberwolves in his 5th season is Flip Saunders. And for Atlanta, the veteran two-time Hall of Famer Lenny Wilkens. The officials assigned by the National Basketball Association tonight. The man to toss it up is Danny Crawford. He'll be working with Dee Kantner and Scott Foster. Ready for basketball, and as we mentioned, these two teams on losing streaks. The Timberwolves have lost 5 in a row, and the Hawks, after winning 5 straight, have lost their last 2. So both looking to make amends here tonight. Garnett and Mutombo, the opening tip controlled by Alan Henderson. Closed captioning of tonight's game is brought to you by Georgia Power, a Southern company. Jim Jackson, a little short with that one. And Garnett, who averages 11 rebounds a game, gets his first.
Well, they have some explosive players, though, do the Timberwolves. Talking to Coach Wilkens prior to this game start, said we still have to get back in transition. They want to push the ball up quickly and take a quick shot. So we've got to get back in transition and match up. That's one area the Hawks have not done well over these last few games.
Malik Sealy to get it in. And Terrell Brandon down the wing. Brandon, good jump shooter. Doesn't penetrate as much as the Timberwolves might prefer. Long board secured by Brandon. His 15-footer is short. And Coles the rebound. That's been one problem for the Timberwolves of late. They're outside shooting. Coles in and out, but Henderson there short. Mutombo gathers and steps in.
Well, you see right away one of the points I was making at the start of the game. The lane is wide open. Dikembe can really have a field day. JJ and Bimbo aggressive early, looking for a quick shot, but they've got to remember to go into Dikembe.
Garnett from the wing. Kevin averaging 21.3 points per game. Had a rough game against Golden State last Saturday at the Target Center. Scored but 12, and at one point missed 14 straight shots. Seems hard to believe a kid that talented.
Yeah. Most of those were jump shots, however.
Jackson in and out for 3. And the rebound comes to Peeler. Nesterovic down inside to the cutting Brandon for the lay-in.
Nesterovic, like so many of the big centers from foreign lands, good passers, good ball handlers.
Coles high.
Isaiah getting a double team right away, even 20 feet out.
Henderson misses. Hawks have missed 4 of their first 5. Garnett in the corner. Now to Brandon. Rasho Nesterovic kicks it out. Peeler. And the board comes to Bimbo Coles. 4-2 Minnesota. Opening minutes here at Phillips Arena. Isaiah Ryder looks. Deflected by Garnett, picked up by Jackson, and Jimmy lays it in.
Pretty good movement on that. Difficult to double team Isaiah when people are moving, cutting, and passing the ball. If you do, you wind up with a good shot like the Hawks did there.
Tied at 4, and Minnesota's going to take an early 20-second timeout. Flip Saunders gathers his T-Wolves for a quick conversation, and I think he wants to talk to him about the offensive set. This 20-second timeout is brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. The most fun a dollar can buy.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's centering his discussion mainly around Kevin Garnett, and I'm sure he's the guy they want to get the ball to.
Tonight's injury report is brought to you by WebMD, the healthcare destination for you and your doctor. Sean McLeod and LaFonso Ellis both on the injured list for Atlanta, and the Hawks are down a player. You can have 12 active, and the team announced that tomorrow they will sign Brandon Williams, 6'6" out of Davidson College. He'll be signed tomorrow, and he'll be eligible to play against the Lakers on Thursday. Play at lacrosse in the CBA. Jackson's pass intercepted by Garnett. Ahead to Sealy, and he misses the jam. He gets fouled. And Jim Jackson with his first. Seeley to the line.
Now, Alan Henderson not really ready for this pass. Could have flashed right in front of Henderson and caught the ball. Allen has not been getting the ball very often, kind of gave up on that play. What the Hawks really want is to get Allen back energized, demanding the ball, flashing in front for the basketball and giving it to him. Coach Wilkins says, I want the guy to be aggressive. I don't care if he runs over somebody. I want him to play with that emotion, and that'll help get his game totally back.
Malik Seeley's first 2 points of the night. And Minnesota with a 6-4 lead. Bimbo looks for Isaiah Rider and finds him. And the one-time T-Wolf plays to Mutombo. Deke takes it up strong and draws the foul.
Well, you see Deke drew a crowd, but was still able to get the shot up.
Is first, the team first.
Nesterovich with the foul, his first. And Mutombo to the free throw line. One thing that having Mutombo active does, draws the defense, making him a threat, really opens things up for Jackson and Rider.
Indeed it does. Not only is he difficult to defend, but you're right, the defense contracts anytime the ball goes inside. Now take a look here. Here's 2 or 3 players around him, but really not a strong double team, and Dikembe does just what he should. Take that right to the basket.
Terrell Brandon. It has been a winless month of December for the Timberwolves. Nesterovich with the sky hook over Mutombo. Rasho with his first bucket. He averages 8 points a game from Slovenia. 8-5, Minnesota.
Garnett showing you his multiple talents. You know about the 21 points, 11 boards, and 2 blocks, but how about the nice assists?
Jackson for 3. Jimmy out here before the game tonight, working on his long-distance shooting. His 22nd three-pointer this season. Ties the game at 8. Nesterovich, no good. Rebound to Jackson.
JJ so vitally important to this team. Team really missed him the few games he was out. Able to get 1 win, but really need his presence.
Rider passing out of the double team, has it intercepted. Seeley to Garnett for the easy finger roll lay-in. Kevin with 4. Timberwolves go up by 2, 10-8. Bimbo looks for Rider. Isaiah has not yet taken a shot in this game. Back into Dikembe. Peeler comes with a double team and slaps it out of his hands. 3-on-1 behind the back to Peeler. Anthony's first bucket. And the Timberwolves go up by 4. This club has won but 1 road game this season, not counting the victory over Sacramento in Japan. Here's Coles going baseline, reverses and scores. Good penetration.
We've seen that recently from Bimbo, being a little more aggressive, getting to the lane and finding a shot for himself, or getting to the free throw line a couple of times recently on that move.
Seeley in traffic, and Deke comes back to swat it out of there. Second in the league in blocks. Deke was high at the foul line, then dropped down quickly to get that block. Jackson from the wing scores.
Well, the Portland connection, Isaiah Rider penetrating, drawing the D, kicking to Jim Jackson. Isaiah seeming to want to get his teammates involved first to free up some room for himself.
Garnett matched against Henderson. KG in the air, good. This is what you were talking about, Mike. His great versatility.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to score outside and inside.
Handle the ball so well, very agile, not your typical 7-footer.
A 2-guard trapped in the center's bottom.
Yeah.
Henderson kicks up top, Coles to Jackson for 2. Yes.
Boy, JJ knocking down the long jumper.
15-14. Hawks in front by a point. Jackson with a 9-point first quarter going, and he's at 4 of 7.
Keep in mind, JJ averaging 17 points a game, so a big clog in the offensive efforts.
Here's Rider into the paint. Tried to dish to Henderson, broken up.
A little too difficult there. No room.
As Al McGuire would say, a little too much French pastry. Here's Brandon short and out of bounds to Minnesota. 17 to shoot. We got a timeout in Atlanta. 5:35 to go in the first. First, he had shock treatment to cure the tendonitis in his knees. Now he's giving the Timberwolves a shock treatment of shooting.
He certainly is. From long range shoot, spotting up behind the three-point line, knocking down that long jumper, regaining the strength in his left leg, and his teammates are looking for him. That really extends the defense when you can go out on that perimeter and knock down the three-point shot.
He came back after a week of treatment in Toronto to rejoin the ball club Saturday in Cleveland, and Jackson scored 20 in that game. Shooting 45% for the year, both overall and from three-point territory.
Atlanta fans still adjusting to Jim Jackson, Bob. He does a lot of things that are very important to the way the ball club plays, the chemistry on the floor.
Terrell Brandon banging in the jump shot for his second field goal. Wally Szczerbiak is into the Minnesota lineup. Szczerbiak has missed the last 2 games and 4 of the last 5 with a sore knee. Jackson finds Henderson down the lane, but he missed the dunk. Dikembe powers up and banks it.
Lane still being a factor, but nice cut by Alan Henderson and a very nice pass by Jackson to give them an opportunity for that putback.
Ties the game at 16. Garnett. Now Brandon resets.
Nice D by Coles.
Rebound to Mutombo. Jackson coming up. Firing again. This one pops out. Nesterovic, the rebound. And now he plays to Brandon. 4.5 to go in the first. Garnett.
Kevin Garnett.
Kevin with 8. The Timberwolves leading scorer overall, and in this first quarter, he's at 4 of 6.
Pretty good execution on those screens and players moving, ball movement.
Nice feed, and JJ gets some bad luck, but a great pass by Coles. Brandon, look away to Sealy. Malik Sealy with his first field goal, the former St. John's standout. And Brandon, 5th in the NBA, over 8 assists a game with a nice feed. 2016 T-Wolves by 4. Isaiah Ryder yet to score in this opening period. Plays to Bimbo. Cole shoots over Brandon, misses. Minnesota rebounding. Hawks shooting 43% here in the opening period. Brandon penetrates, now dishes. Nesterovic comes back out to Szczerbiak. Shot clock under 10. Brandon and Mutombo the rebound. His 5th of the opening period. Jim Jackson works on the rookie Wally Szczerbiak. Quickly inside to Dikembe, but Garnett poked it away. Brandon spins home and misses. Sealy keeps it alive. And a loose ball foul on Atlanta.
Timberwolves trying to get out and play the up-tempo game. Hawks have to remember to match their energy, but also remember to go inside. Bimbo Coles playing pretty good defense. Take a look here at this. Terrell Brandon tries a difficult move, and Bimbo gets called for the hand. The ward off the bigger player, Sealy.
Right there. Here we go.
Coles, good aggressive effort in the first quarter. Splits time with Jason Terry, and I think that's very healthy. Makes both players aggressive because Coach Wilkins is going to give the playing time the majority to either one that's playing the best.
And Jason in there right now. Ducks under the screen. Garnett picks him off again. Sealy mishandles. Shot clock at 7. Jackson couldn't get it to go. Brandon scoots it over to Garnett. Szczerbiak with 4 on the clock short. Gets it inside. It's rejected by Mutombo on Sealy's attempt. Now Alan Henderson. Terry for 3. Back iron. Deke keeps it alive. Poked away, and Garnett with Another fine defensive play.
Garnett with great court sense, and look at the nice pass right there. Handles the break. Garnett does it all. Even yells encouragement to his teammates.
Seeley with 6.
Quick double team.
And Ryder throws it right into the hands of Garnett, but off Brandon out of bounds. The ball belongs to Atlanta after a timeout. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the first quarter. The Timberwolves running the court. 22-16, Minnesota lead with 2:04 to play in the opening period.
Isaiah Ryder has not gotten a shot up yet. Probably the first time in his career he's played these 10 minutes of the first quarter without getting a shot up. Now it's a good time, though, Bob, for them to get a shot for their leading scorer. Get him involved. It's about time.
Minnesota doing a terrific job at transition. Ryder has it drop off. Rebound Dikembe. The slam counted. The foul.
Well, that's what you need from Dikembe. Even when they're not giving the ball to him in a set offensive pattern, go to the offensive glass, make yourself a factor. That time Dikembe with a nice rebound. Here's Ryder, difficult move through the double team. Almost gets this little shot to go, and here comes Dikembe with the slam.
Foul on Garnett. And Mutombo has 8.
See, you've got to keep Dikembe controlling the lane. Keep him motivated, keep him a part of your offense, and believe it or not, he'll even play better defense when you're including him that way.
Rasho Nesterovic throws Deke away from the basket. Bobby Jackson in at point. Drive short. Rebound Mutombo. 8 rebounds in the opening quarter for Deke. He is the leading rebounder in the NBA. Allen Henderson skies and slams.
And see, Dikembe's pointing at Allen saying, way to go, trying to get Allen back pumped up, playing with emotion and agility, making positive things happen.
Garnett. And Deke another, just get every rebound.
There you go, get them all.
Jim Jackson. Under a minute to go in the period. Atlanta with 12 points in the paint early. Make that 14. Dikembe in double figures.
Well, there's nobody over there that can guard Dikembe.
Yes,
The Hawks know it, and Dikembe knows it.
Bobby Jackson, former Minnesota Golden Gopher, beats to Garnett. Serbiak, little daylight, rims out. Jason Terry with 20 seconds. 3T finds Ryder. Serbiak's got it. Ryder isolated. Nesterovic comes to help into Dikembe. To Henderson for the jam. Pretty play.
Nice play in the lane from Dikembe to Henderson. Just takes it up and slams him.
Final seconds of the period. Nesterovic from the top of the key, no good. Deke the rebound as the Hawks finish the period with a flourish. (25-22) Atlanta. How about Dikembe Mutombo? A double-double in the first quarter. 10 points, 10 rebounds. He also had 3 blocks and 1 assist. He deserves a break.
Indeed. Talk about dominating the lane.
And we've got a foul on Chris Crawford. Chris is in along with Lorenzen Wright for the Hawks. Henderson, Terry, and Ryder also out there. Serbiak, Nesterovic, Garnett, Peeler, and Bobby Jackson. Minnesota trying to end that Atlanta run. They go to Garnett to do it.
Garnett, you should see the kind of shot chart you get from watching him. He shoots it from everywhere and anywhere. Hard to get a handle on how to guard him. He can score from so many areas so well.
Chris Crawford to Jason Terry, low to Lorenzen Wright. He's really been stepping it up offensively of late. This one drops.
And continues, Bob. Continues to pound inside and punish the defenders.
Serbiak feeding. Ryder looks pretty good for a guy who's missed 4 of his last 5 games with knee problems. Moving around pretty well. Jackson underneath. Peeler, and that one, I think Wright got a piece of it. A loose ball foul, though, on Alan Henderson.
That was number 44.
For Allen, it's his first. Second team foul on the Hawks here in the period. And the pride of Columbus, Georgia, and Mercer University, Sam Mitchell, coming in for Minnesota. Serbiak goes out.
Sam Mitchell. 10-year veteran.
Oh, look at that steal by Jason Terry. Puts it up and off. And a foul on Bobby Jackson.
That was number 24, Bobby Jackson, his first.
So Jason Terry will go to the foul line. Bobby Jackson getting his pocket picked.
Indeed, the speed and quickness of Jason Terry is in the open floor, and that belongs to Jason. Uses his body, protects it, gets the foul, goes to the line.
Jason is 76% free throw shooter. Terrell Brandon takes Jackson's place. Jason Terry shooting 42% from three-point territory, as you see. That is the third best rookie mark in that category. It's both free throws, and the Hawk advantage stands at 5. Biggest lead tonight for Atlanta.
Elbow straight.
Brandon inside. Tough pass for KG, knocked out of bounds. 13 seconds to shoot.
Lorenzen Wright holding his own. Timberwolves trying to redirect some of their efforts toward the lane now that Dikembe Mutombo is out of the ball game.
So Tom Hammonds checking into the ball game. Former Georgia Tech standout. Nesterovic goes out. Hammonds to Garnett.
Hammonds really a power forward matched up against Wright.
Anthony Peeler blocked by Crawford, and beautifully so. Ryder across to Terry. JT in traffic had it deflected. Lorenzen Wright gathers. Short. Tip to Crawford. Over to KG. Timberwolves running. Tough lead for Brandon. Inside, back to Garnett for the slam. Quick hitter. In transition. Kevin Garnett with a dozen. Isaiah Ryder. First time he's seen some shooting daylight. Good tip in by Henderson. Well, the Timberwolves, it seems, Stinger just defenseless inside to guard against the Atlanta big people.
Yes, they really are, and the big people doing a good job of taking advantage of that, Bob. Dean Garrett not able to play for the Wolves.
Garnett with the steal. Dish. The flip is good by Brandon.
But you see Garnett just involved in everything. Making steals, putting pressure on, assisting. Really playing an excellent game here, trying to lead his Wolves.
Jason Terry tried to go inside the Ryder, batted away by Anthony Peeler. And the foul coming on Sam Mitchell of Minnesota. Back in Atlanta, bird's eye view at Phillips Arena, 31-28 Atlanta. As we take a look at tonight's AutoZone around the league scoreboard, Utah will be in Atlanta Saturday. Game 2 of their 7-game Eastern swing, trailing the Wizards by 1 at halftime up in D.C. Cleveland leading Boston in the second by 13. The announcers for this telecast have been approved and are compensated by the Atlanta Hawks. Chris Crawford to trigger, gives to Jason Terry. Hawks lead at 31-28. Isaiah Ryder matched against Anthony Peeler. Quick double by Brandon, inside to Wright. Lorenzen also draws a double team and throws it away. The shot clock expired before the Wolves got the ball. That cost Minnesota a fast break, but Flip Saunders understands. The rules must be enforced.
Indeed, they must. And Flip's getting the ball, so at least he's happy about that. Had an excellent break in the making, however.
So let's see if the Hawks can turn it into a defensive stop. Sam Mitchell beats Tom Hammonds. And Lorenzen Wright, a little too aggressive with his defense of Nesterovic. Third team foul on the Hawks, the first on Lorenzen. Dikembe coming back into the ball game. And it's going to be Henderson to go out. This is a combination that Lenny Wilkens has been able to use with some effectiveness lately, and that's to play Mutombo and Wright together.
This play has been very effective. They got a score out of this basket on an earlier occasion. They run a nice screen and they pop the center down low. But they better not go back to it again. They got it once against Dikembe. Got a foul on this previous possession, and now they probably won't have many opportunities there. That window may be closed now.
31-28 Atlanta. Minnesota's 6th turnover this first half. JT up top to Crawford. Chris protects the basketball. Ryder looking, driving, had it blocked, and it's out of bounds to Atlanta with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Well, Ryder is a marked man, as you would expect him to be. Flip Saunders knows all about Isaiah Ryder.
Oh, much too well. Isaiah averaged almost 19 points per game as a Timberwolf.
And a steal by Brandon, picked up by Mitchell, and a foul in midcourt on Ryder, primarily out of frustration. Yes, he wanted to stop the break, but he has faced a swarming Minnesota defense.
Yeah, I mean, double teams are coming from everywhere. And it's not the same player all the time. Sometimes it's a guard, sometimes it's a big man, but whenever he has the ball, a double team is coming. Hawks are trying to get him some quick shots off screens. He got one open look, and that's all they've been able to get for their leading scorer to this point.
Peeler. And his shot is blocked, and a foul on Ryder. Isaiah bagged him on the elbow. So 2 fouls against Ryder. He'll come out in favor of Jim Jackson.
Anthony Peeler shooting 2.
Anthony Peeler steps up to the free throw line. A 90% free throw shooter this season. Terrific collegiate player. And Norm Stewart of Missouri.
For Atlanta, number 22, Jimmy
JJ back. Peeler started with the Lakers, then to Vancouver, traded to Minnesota. His 2nd full season as a Timberwolf.
Peeler, a guy that can put some numbers up, averaging about 10 points per game, but he's an explosive scorer, can get in the rhythm and score him in a hurry, just like that guy Isaiah Ryder, who had a very disappointing for him first half to this point.
Don't hold. Straight up.
A little better defense by the Wolves. They're denying passes better right now. Put more pressure on.
Right inside to Crawford. Hammonds jumps in to retrieve it. And gives to Brandon. Now the wing to Sam Mitchell. He'll take it and make it. Sam Mitchell averaging just over 3 points a game off the Minnesota bench. T-Wolves have scored 6 in a row. Carry short. Rebound tipped away to Mutombo. The fake and the dunk is good.
Well, Dikembe breaking the drought. Hawks have to remember to look his way.
And it goes to Hammonds. To the corner and Mitchell. Rebound Jim Jackson. Crawford on the wing, driving, laying it up, and it spins out. Out of bounds to Minnesota. Deke went down in a heap. A long stare back at Danny Crawford. But it's still going to be Minnesota ball.
Look at those second chance points. One of your Stinger stats mentioned the fact that second chance points and overall play in the lane would be big and should favor the Hawks, and it has done exactly that to this point.
Hammonds is going to take a timeout. Minnesota's already used its first half 20, so this must be a full. Back in Atlanta, Hawks with a 1-point lead. Minnesota got off to a good start. They won 5 of their first 7 games, but the month of December has not been very kind to them with this 5-game losing streak and a real disaster against Golden State Saturday at home. They were up 20 points in the first quarter. Kevin McHale couldn't believe his eyes. as they lost the game by 28, a 48-point swing in one NBA game, and they scored but 21 points in the second half.
And anytime your team is struggling, it seems like injuries come your way, and that's been the case for the Timberwolves as well. Missing Dean Garrett as we speak.
Garnett back in the Timberwolves attack. Serbiak pump fakes. Loose ball. Brandon with 2 on the clock. No good. Rebound tipped, and JJ has it. Terry.
Excellent decision. Terry, like a veteran, gets in shooting range, finds himself open, and lets that one go. 15 feet.
Just the 4th field goal of the period for the Hawks. Here's Serbiak looking. Wally on the deck. Kicks out to Garnett. Corner shot, Brandon. Fighting for it, Jim Jackson. Comes 2-on-2, now holds up. Jimmy looks for deep and finds it. Hammond's trying to deny him position. Crawford fakes, spins, now shoots, misses.
Crawford not quite ready to catch and shoot that ball or put it on the deck. The little extra second that it took him to prepare caused him not to get a good shot to his line.
Serbiak's fall away is no good, and Dikembe claims yet another rebound. He is 11th of the night. Anthony Johnson deep.
Hawks are getting right now, Bob, caught up in the Timberwolves style of play. Wolves don't really have an interior game, so they come down, look for a quick shot on the perimeter somewhere. Hawks are playing that same style right now. They have to break that pattern. It's very tempting to stop and shoot that quick long jumper, but that's not the Hawks' best way to play.
Serbiak is 0 for 4.
There you go, JJ.
Into Dikembe. Goes up, and a travel on Mutombo.
Well, Mutombo really bailed out Tom Hammonds, had him in a very bad situation right there. Take a look at this baseline move. Dikembe faces, makes a nice move right here, and now he's right in the lane, but just moved his feet, trying to get a little better position, and got the travel.
32-year-old Tom Hammonds, a tough take.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Garnett.
He's something special, man. Chris Crawford having to guard Garnett. Had Lamar Odom the other night, and he has a 7-foot small forward.
Jackson to AJ, up top to Terry. Bounce across to Jackson, over Garnett for 3.
Boy, JJ really shooting the ball well. Smooth stroke, excellent rotation on the ball, knocks it down.
38-34 Atlanta. Hammonds in the middle to Mitchell. Loose ball. Gonna be Deke saving it in front of the Hawk bench. What effort. Now Terry spins in. Goes outside to JJ. 3-ball side pocket.
Wow. And Kevin Garnett was jumping at it. JJ maintained the concentration, said you can't block it, and it's good.
Timeout on the floor with 3:54 left. Back in Atlanta, it's been the Jim Jackson show lately.
And from deep range too, Bob, as JJ just lining up the long 3-ball and knocking them down, and his Hawk teammates are looking for him. There he is set up again, and there's Kevin Garnett jumping at it to no avail.
Jackson has hit 6 of 10. And to get that shot off beyond the outstretched fingertips of Kevin Garnett is really saying something. Here's Seeley over to KG. Nesterovic.
Wolves trying to find some semblance of an interior game.
The hook is good.
Nice move.
Nesterovic now with 4. He had 23 against Golden State Saturday. The Warriors did so much double teaming of Garnett. Nesterovic really went to work and scored 15 first quarter points. Henderson could not tap it in. And we've got a technical foul on Alan Henderson.
Well, Hindu felt he was held on the other end and says call the foul on the other end.
Well, the videotape tells all.
Yeah.
You really see
Angle right there, yeah.
Terrell, we'll take Alan's word for
Right. I'm with you.
So Terrell Brandon hits the technical. And checking in for Minnesota, William Avery, the former Duke Blue Devil, the pride of Westside High School in Augusta, Georgia. Starovich in and out. Sealy. Malik Sealy. Inserted into the starting lineup. Joe Smith unavailable to the Timberwolves tonight with a respiratory infection. And Sealy's responded with 8. Terry driving, dishing. And we've got a foul coming on the Timberwolves.
Well, you see once again Jason Terry breaking down the defense, getting in the lane. A very valuable asset to have the ability to do that. There he is, taking it there, getting to the free throw line. You get fouls on your opponents. You get some easy opportunities for your teammates when you can create that by driving in the lane.
AJ out, Ryder back. Terry to shoot 2. 2 for 2 at the line tonight is Jason Terry. That's his 5th point of the game. 2:50 left in the half. Hawks 42, Timberwolves 39. Kevin Garnett has hit 7 of 10. The rest of the Minnesota Timberwolves are shooting 30%. They're trailing by 4. Brandon cures some of that. 9 points for Terrell. Terry to Ryder.
Nothing changed as far as the double team of Isaiah. As soon as he gets back, they run one at him immediately.
Shot clock at 7. Here's Henderson. And the tip in good by Mutombo. Deke with 15. 45-41 Atlanta. Looks almost too easy from the inside for the Hawks. But boy, Terrell Brandon. Wolves running their patterns pretty well here this evening. Chris coming off screens, passes right on time, knocking down some of those jumpers as well. Except for those last 2 shots for Brandon, their outside game, other than Garnett, has just not been there.
Right.
Terry protects it, shoots it. And the rebound to Nesterovich. 45-43 Hawks. Minute and a half to go in the first period. Second period, I should say. First half. Here's Brandon with the bounce inside to Garnett. KG holds it high. Works on Henderson. And throws it down. My goodness.
Kevin Garnett, multi-talented, aggressive, passionate with the slam.
Boy, he challenged the big fella. Nothing Dikembe could do. And a reach-in foul coming on William Avery. Tonight's Power Tell at the half will include Stinger's first quarter evaluation. The latest Hawks happenings, halftime highlights and stats. Jim Jackson triggers. Jason Terry forced to take it, and he missed it. Rebound Mutombo, and he pushed off to get position. So Deke picks up his first. And that will put the Hawks over the limit. Kevin Garnett at 7 feet, maybe even 7'1", has got that velvet touch from the outside, but he's got a power game too, as Mr. Mutombo can attest.
And we've seen him only from the perimeter tonight, but here he goes on the low block. And before Dikembe can get there, he's in the rim, slamming that one home.
Nesterovich to the free throw line. He was the Timberwolves' #1 pick in '98. Flip Saunders saying they love this kid with his shooting ability, great hands. He's added 20 pounds during the summer.
And you can see that he needs those 20 pounds and more, because Garnett's presence is mostly outside, and they need some interior help.
Jim Jackson. Safety valve in Mutombo. Now Jackson goes to work on Seeley. Tried to kick it out to Ryder. It's a backcourt violation. Well, they're trying to get Isaiah some quick open looks. Ryder a scoreless first half and 0 for 3 from the field. 36.6 left. And a fresh 24 for Minnesota.
Well, not going for 2 for 1. A lot of teams will maybe they are.
They can do it. They won't have much at the other end, however. Avery getting that jump shot. 47-45 Minnesota. Here's Ryder. This time doubled by Garnett. Goes cross court. Jackson did a good job to tip it. His shot no good. Here's Mutombo battling, gathering, stuffing.
Well, Dikembe still making that impression on that end.
Seeley in and out. Rebound to Henderson. 3 seconds. Allen from 30 feet. And the period is over. 24 minutes of basketball dominated by Dikembe Mutombo.
Seven for 7 from the field. Has to get even more touches. It's almost too easy for him to go along with those 14 points. Now, over the last 2 games combined, he was 2 for 6, and tonight at halftime, 7 for 7. So a difference in intensity for Dikembe Mutombo.
Just about set to start the third quarter. The Timberwolves coming out with KG, Rasho Nesterovic, Anthony Peeler, Terrell Brandon, and Malik Seeley. Hawks have their starters out there: Jim Jackson, Allen Henderson, Dikembe Mutombo, Bimbo Coles, and Isaiah Ryder. Hawks fans, a reminder, the Lakers will be here Thursday night. You can come out and see Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and the rest of the Lakers. Tickets are available at all Ticketmaster outlets, 404-249-6400, and online at Ticketmaster.com. Brandon went down hard. KG over to pick him up.
Tell you, KG does everything for this ball club, Bob. He's a caregiver, goes around, sees that everybody is okay, and a guy makes a good basket. He pats him on the head and say, way to go. Really just the heart and soul of the ball club, and he's also doing it in the statistical categories as well.
Terrell Brandon with the first 2. He doesn't get to the line that often. As you see, Ryder, the 4th leading scorer in the NBA, but with a goose egg tonight. And yet the Hawks are down by only 2.
Indeed, and that's a good sign when you can get no points from your leading scorer and still be tied at halftime.
Here's Bimbo. Looking, finding Jim Jackson. Ryder. 3 seconds, 2. Coles at the end of the buzzer. Deke the offensive rebound. He puts it up and in. Count it and a foul.
He can't miss tonight. Just feed him and fan him. Everything's gonna go. Dikembe's 8 for 8, perfect from the field. Even gets fouled here. Bimbo Coles gets this shot up to avoid getting a shot clock violation. And here's Dikembe. Peeler gives him the foul, and Deke Steele makes the basket.
First on Anthony. Dikembe with those 15 rebounds, looking to become the first Hawk to lead the NBA in rebounding since Bob Pettit back in the mid-50s. He may very well do it.
He's playing like he is, he'll do it.
Garnett with the turnaround.
Boy, he is something special, though. Kevin Garnett, what a player, Bob. I remember when he came out of high school early, and I myself questioned if it were a good move. Nobody has any questions anymore.
Dikembe.
Oh.
Tipped. Seeley behind the head to Garnett. Plays to Peeler. Back to Garnett. Runs into Ryder and a foul. No shot. And that will be the 4th foul on Isaiah.
is 4.
Well, Isaiah knew where he wanted to throw the pass. He says, I know you want to go to Garnett for the dunk. So watch how he plays him. He's right there. Has it guessed correctly, but guessing it correctly doesn't mean you can always stop it, and that was the case for Isaiah Rider there.
Lenny Wilkins will lead him in the game. Rider and Garnett, teammates, KG's rookie year in Minnesota. Here's Peeler. Tipped and out of bounds.
Minnesota ball.
We were talking about Kevin Garnett coming out of high school. The legendary North Carolina coach Dean Smith said in the 36 years that he coached the Tar Heels, he recruited 4 guys that he thought could go right from high school to the NBA. James Worthy, Rasheed Wallace, Sam Perkins, and Kevin Garnett. And Garnett has made a believer out of everybody.
Indeed, I have to agree with the good coach once again.
Loose ball, and it's going to be out of bounds to Atlanta. 51-50, Minnesota.
Looking for Isaiah Rider off baseline screens or Jim Jackson, either one of the small people on the baseline.
Henderson.
Yes.
Soft touch. And do with 8. Hawks by 1. Garnett dumps it off. Nesterovic batted out of there by Dikembe, but a foul, I believe, on Henderson. No, it's on D.
Team third.
It will be his second. And Rasho Nesterovic will go back to the free throw line. Nesterovic 0 for 2 at the stripe, 51% this season. And this one's up and in, his 5th point. Seven feet tall, he weighs 248 pounds. And as you mentioned, Mike, he's going to have to bulk up even more.
Oh, yes.
As the years goes on. He's only 23.
Yeah, still a young guy. He'll fill out a lot more.
Yeah, just tell him to eat what I eat. He'll put that weight on easy. Here's Combs. Now on the cut to Rider. Pump fakes. Brandon comes for the double team ambush, and it's out of bounds to Atlanta.
See, this double team is coming on Isaiah Rider quicker than he's seen all year long. Most teams wait to see if he's in shooting position, but the Wolves don't wait. They just see him going away from the basket and coming double team. So it's a very aggressive double team, and Isaiah's going to have to get his points off screens more so than a one-on-one move.
Garnett.
Come on, high for the rebound.
Man, he was up there. That's his 8th rebound of the night. Garnett looking, feeding to Peeler. Inside, they're going to go to Sealy. Matched against Jim Jackson. Quick move to the baseline. Lost the handle, and Coles comes up with it.
Saw Dikembe Mutombo there as he made his move on the baseline and had nowhere to go.
Deke immediately doubled. Outside Rider for 3.
Beautiful. Found the combination inside out. Can't double team everybody. Isaiah Rider gets the open look. He's 1 for 4.
And it's a 3-pointer. 55-53 Atlanta. Terrell Brandon looks. Finds Garnett. Outside Anthony Peeler getting it right back over Rider. It was a 2, however. Anthony was 6. Tied at 55. Into Henderson. Little hook.
Indeed, Henderson beginning to feel a little rhythm with his offensive game. Nice flow, nice hook shot.
Sealy again drives baseline. In and out. He clears to Bimbo Coles. Now to Henderson. His pull-up jumper is good.
Oh, yes, you can tell Henderson feeling it. Just stopping and popping, pulling up.
And Minnesota is going to take a timeout with 8:01 to go in the 3rd period. Let's take you back to Isaiah Rider's days as a Minnesota Timberwolf, the East Bay Funk Dunk that won the Slam Jam. And check this move. Willie Anderson. Oh, for 3 years he was in Minnesota, and still is the all-time leading scorer in terms of three-pointers made in Minnesota history. And it's ironic that that's the area of the game where they are most deficient even to this day. Since Rider left, they really haven't had a bona fide three-point threat. And Rider with a takeaway. Peeler grabbed him, and that's going to be a breakaway foul. So 2 shots in the ball for Atlanta.
Well, Peeler knew he'd better hold on to Isaiah Rider before he gets the Jets turned on. Isaiah Rider beginning to get in gear, and there's Peeler saying, whoa, let me catch you while I can.
So Rider will shoot a pair, and then the Hawks will have the basketball.
That is a breakaway foul. You cannot foul the player that's in front of the pack when you're behind them to grab them. You're in front of them, it's a different story. That is a breakaway. Isaiah will shoot a couple.
His 4th point of the game. Averaging 30.6 in his last 7, 23 in his last 5 shot attempts. Only 4 tonight, but as we know, when Mr. Rider gets hot, those attempts will come with great frequency. 60-55. I misspoke, Hawks ball. It's just 2 shots for Rider. Garnett.
Got a mismatch here.
And it's KG inside. Rolling it off. And Mutombo the rebound. Up and down comes to Isaiah. Isaiah gives to Bimbo Coles. Nice open look, and he buries the jump shot.
Bimbo right in rhythm, catches that jumper and knocks it down.
62-55. That equals the biggest Hawk lead of the game. Nesterovic in the corner to Anthony Peeler, and he drills it.
Peeler also beginning to warm up. We talked about the fact that he's a very explosive offensive player with a lot of range, can knock down the 3, strong, got to really kind of close down on him. He's keeping the Wolves very close right now.
Here's Rider. Zips it to Bimbo, and he's missed the shot. It's going to be Garnett controlling the Minnesota rebound. He's got his 9th of the game. Brandon to the running Nesterovic for the jam.
Beautiful pass by Brandon. Sets up Nesterovic for that dunk.
62-59. Coles. Looking again for Dikembe. The Wolves have done a good job in transition. Sealy comes to double. They go right back to Mutombo. Deke with a jumper, good.
Wow. Dikembe looked him off with a little ball fake and shot the 12-foot jump shot. Hit nothing but bottom.
64-59 Minnesota, trailing by 5 with the ball. Brandon inside to Garnett. Back up top to Terrell Brandon. And a hand check on Bimbo.
Foul is on number 12, Bimbo Coles. His 2nd.
It is 64-59 Atlanta. Malik Sealy triggers to Brandon. Minnesota struggling, having lost 5 in a row, and they start tonight. They've got a streak of 7 road games in their next 9. Peeler up and in. Boy, Anthony Peeler's gotten hot in the last couple of minutes. Now Rider goes to work against him. Nesterovic comes to double. Up top, Coles. Nice ball fake. 15-footer. To the corner and Sealy. Ahead to Peeler. Anthony. Nesterovic running the floor. Missed it, and Mutombo rebounds.
Nesterovic missed the easiest shot of the night. And Dikembe pulls down his 18th rebound.
Rider stop and pop. Six in the period for Isaiah. 66-61. Brandon.
Brandon pretty dangerous on this pick and roll.
Yes,
because
he
he's
is.
a good shooter. If you go behind the screen as Bimbo did then, you can get in trouble.
Mutombo's long lead to Henderson, draws the foul on Garnett and lays it in.
And Coach Wilkins was even pumped on the sideline to see his power forward make these kind of aggressive moves. Hindu, very agile, can change directions. Take a look at, you see the long outlet pass by Dikembe, and Hindu just crosses over, nice crossover dribble, and lays it in off the glass.
Now Henderson tries to finish off the three-point play, and he does. 15 for Allen, and it's 69-61 Atlanta. Brandon.
Illegal defense.
And an illegal defense against the Hawks. Shot clock at 14 seconds, and I think Atlanta wants to take a timeout, and they will. The Hawks have built an 8-point lead, and tonight's delivery of the game is brought to you by UPS, delivering express documents and packages earlier to more of the world than anybody. Just one of the reasons why we're the official express delivery company of the Atlanta Hawks. I don't know about you, Stinger, but if I'm Braves manager Bobby Cox and I see Mutombo fire that ball, I'm thinking, you know, a little middle relief next summer.
Absolutely, he could just hand the ball to the catcher with the long arms. I mean, he wouldn't have to throw it but a few feet.
Peeler.
Trying to isolate Peeler, and boy, he is red hot. He's very explosive, coming off screens. You've got to get help, and the guard has to keep coming.
Since the first quarter, when the Hawks led by 3, Atlanta is at 20 of 35 shots, 70% in the period. Jackson no good. Tipped out, belongs to Atlanta.
Well, JJ had the hot hand in the first half. Giving him a look to see if he can get it going here again in this second half. Dikembe's been hot throughout. There's a double team on JJ. Flip Saunders doubling everybody.
The inside Jackson, but nowhere to go. Rolls out though to Ryder. Look away to Henderson. He jams it. What a pass.
Ryder making himself valuable, scoring points in this third quarter, and also dishing out nice assists like that one to Henderson.
71-63 Atlanta. The 5th assist to Ryder. Garnett up and over Mutombo, no good. Deke, number 20. And a foul underneath. Dikembe gets the deck foul by Anthony Peeler.
Isaiah Ryder, as you looking at Dikembe having a big impact in this ball game. Isaiah Ryder, though, his ability to pass is very important when you're getting double teamed. Look at the no-look pass right here. Henderson says, oh, is this for me? Christmas gift early? Just catches it and slams it home.
Jackson slides it over to Coles. Ryder looks into deep. Poked away by Nesterovich. 10 to shoot. 3:03 left in the period. Mutombo, 21 points and 20 rebounds. He's going to better his Orlando game when he had 22 points and 21 boards against the Magic. Coles penetrates the popper. In and out. Deke again. Count it, the foul. Boy, Mutombo has been something else tonight.
Can you say perfect 10? Dikembe on the glass. Look at him creating offensive rebounding position. The Bill Russell spread leg type rebound there, and he gets that one to go. He is 10 for 10. So, Bob, you were talking about that show, 10 and what have you.
Now, these are the 10s I really like.
There you go. 10 for 10.
25 for D. 74-63. Hawks have opened up a double-digit advantage. Serbiak floats it into Garnett. KG with the shot.
Man, that is so awesome.
He is something else.
Yes, indeed. And has all the fundamentals down. This is a kid that didn't even go to college and played a lot of street ball, but that was as good a fundamentals as you'll see.
Jackson fumbled, gets up and off, and we've got a foul call. The foul will be on Szczerbiak. Wally's first.
Tough night for Szczerbiak. Tried to come back and help his ball club after missing a few games, and it's been a tough night for him, matched up against a red-hot JJ. Szczerbiak was 0 for 4 in the first half.
And for Jim Jackson, his 16th point of the night. 86% free throw shooter. Just watching his work ethic before the game today. You see his line tonight. The one thing that comes to my mind, Stinger, this is a professional athlete at the office.
Absolutely right, Bob. He's a student of the game, comes prepared, has his routines, takes care of himself and his work that's at hand.
Speaking of Jim Jackson, in and out back in. Under 2 to go in the period. Peeler bounce to Garnett. Nesterovic. Good touch. In double figures with 10.
You can almost count on it. Those foreign centers, they'll be able to knock that shot down. You just run out at them, man, because they're going to hit that thing if you leave them open.
Ryder.
Nice show.
Henderson. All the way to the bucket. Deep. Over to Jackson off the glass. No. Tip to Bimbo Coles. He'll put it up and in.
The lane again. Once again, Hawks dominating the lane.
Szczerbiak.
He has cake.
Jackson. Attacking for Atlanta with a minute to go in the period. 79-69 Hawks. JJ. Look at that spin. Oh, they got to call it for a travel.
JJ saying, did I move the pivot foot? Did I just pivot? Take a look at the left foot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Had good intentions, but.
Yes, that Toledo two-step.
Right.
15 turnovers for the Hawks, but only 2 in the second half. Under a minute to go. William Avery. Matched against Bimbo. The screen. Avery's drive. A wild shot. Tipped to control by Tommy Hammonds. His first field goal. 38.3 left in the period. The Hawks lead it by 8. Jackson. Fakes. Shoots. And will shoot 2 at the line.
That was a difficult move, too. Sealy played excellent defense on that. But JJ was able to create an opportunity from that in spite of the good defense. Sealy does not agree with that call.
Meanwhile, Jim Jackson back to the free throw line. 1 for 2 tonight. An 18-point evening.
Yeah, Jackson, similar to Garnett, of course, Garnett much taller and much more able to play inside because of that. But both of these guys can play multiple positions, can handle the ball, can run your offense, can post up, can shoot it, pass it. Garnett, of course, can play all 5 positions, and JJ can play 3 very well.
Minnesota plays for the final shot of the third quarter. Rookie William Avery. It's a screen. With 2 seconds, Sealy. In and out. Deke, another rebound. His 24th of the game. A new season high for Dikembe in rebounds. During the 1999-2000 Hawks regular season, Life University will donate $30 to the Hawks Foundation for every completed three-point shot. The Georgia Alliance for Children will be the beneficiary of the donation, with all monies being earmarked for refurbishing basketball courts. A big thank you to Life for the generous donation. And a big thank you to Jim Jackson for his good shooting. He had 3 threes early in the night and has scored 19 tonight. But really, this game has been dominated by the presence of Dikembe Mutombo inside. He's going to get a breather to start this fourth quarter. He's earned it. 25 points and 24 rebounds.
Flip Saunders throwing a little junk in the ball game now, using a half-court trap. He's playing this game without a center now. Flip has Garnett, who can play a little of anything, but not really listed as a center.
Ryder, Coles, around the perimeter, Jackson. Inside, Lorenzen, smothered by Hammonds.
Hammonds strong arming, power forward. Sends Lorenzen to the line.
First time Tommy sends right to the free throw line. 58% free throw shooter. His first season with the Hawks. 24 years old, 6'11", 240 pounds. Spent the first 3 years of his professional career with the Clippers.
And you really have to like his physical presence, so Bob. He has good footwork, he has intensity, but he's strong. And there have been times over the years people have talked about the Hawks needing better athletes and more quickness, but they've also needed the big bodies that can bring a physical presence inside. And Lorenzen Wright can and does that.
Avery gets a Garnett screen, goes away from it to Serbiak. Out of Sealy out of the corner. And Ryder rebounds. Isaiah with 6. Looking for more. Spin move. No good. Garnett tips it to Avery. Williams speeds up and rejected by Wright. Saving it. Ryder. Bullet to Jackson out of bounds.
Bad attempt by Isaiah, though. Not a bad time to try such a thing. You got a fast break developing. You're up 9. May have a chance for that home run pass.
Garnett. Baseline driving. Serbiak for the dunk. Wally, as most opponents do, they get a little braver going to the hole with Dikembe out of the game.
Yes, they do.
Here's Lorenzen Wright. He puts it up and in.
Indeed. So you got
that athleticism inside you're talking about.
That sure is, Bob, and you have to like the way the Hawks are attacking that too. Not turning into a jump shooting game only. That's what happens sometimes when teams trap you. You get the quick long jumper.
Wall is short. Sealy good off the glass. Malik Sealy, who had 8 points in the first half, his first 2 of the second half. 82-75 Hawks. Inside right. Great passing to Henderson. No shot. Sealy with the foul. His second. Chris Crawford, Jason Terry coming into the Atlanta lineup. Bimbo Coles and Jim Jackson going out of the game for Atlanta.
Hawks doing a good job against the trap. Moving the basketball, exploiting.
Isaiah. Doubled to Henderson. Terry for 3. No good. Thirteen rebounds for Garnett to go with 20 points. Shot clock at 7. KG and a whistle and an illegal defense will result in a technical foul against Atlanta. An officials timeout at Phillips Arena with 9:35 to go in the fourth quarter. 82-76 Hawks. Tonight's deposit of the night is brought to you by Bank of America, proud sponsor of the Atlanta Hawks. For all your banking needs, call or visit Bank of America. Great slam by Henderson on the feed from Ryder.
Bob, you get the feeling that the Hawks are in control of the ball game, but they're allowing the Timberwolves to hang around too closely.
Shot clock at 1. Garnett misses. And Terry rebounds. Toss ahead to Henderson. What a feed by Henderson. What a block by Garnett.
You're right on both accounts.
Serbiak underneath the Hammonds to Avery. Fakes and just taken right away by Lorenzen Wright, and he's hurting.
Lorenzo trying to walk it off, doesn't want to come out of the game.
Terry, Ryder on the cut. He's looking.
Yeah.
Seeley right there. Ryder steps back, fires short. Tipped by Crawford, no. And Hammond gets it over to Avery. Garnett in traffic. Serbiak can't finish. But Kevin Garnett, I'm telling you, is absolutely worth the price of admission any night in the NBA.
Yes, he is.
What a fun player to watch.
Indeed. And very effective too, Bob. Entertaining and very effective.
Crawford for two. No. Tap by Wright. Second time, no. Henderson, count it. And we've got a foul on Garnett for a hole, or for a bump beside the head, it should be. Third on KG.
Speaking of Garnett, you got the big contract. Kevin McHale decided to reward him. He's afraid not to. You know, it would be such a travesty to say we had Kevin Garnett and he goes on to become one of the great players in the history of the game.
And after having lost to Gugliotta, having lost to Marbury via trade, but not there nonetheless. A lot of pressure on the Minnesota franchise to keep KG, and that big contract may have been, as you look back, the impetus toward the lockout.
Yes, I've heard that mentioned, that was a big part of it.
To say, hey, wait a minute, these franchises are giving these youngsters just way too much money. It's going to break the bank. We've got to protect ourselves from ourselves.
Right.
And the lockout came and went. Salary cap is in place with maximum salaries. And the rest is history. But it does one thing. It allows the Minnesota Timberwolves to compete on an even basis now with the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Lakers.
It certainly does. And they have a chance of doing that with a Kevin Garnett on the squad.
Second foul on Alan Henderson. Tommy Hammond, 93% foul shooter this year. Right on cue, misses the first of two. Garnett out briefly, but with his ball club trailing by 8 and 8 minutes to go, he'll be back quickly. Henderson gives way to Dikembe Mutombo.
So the Hawks go with the two big guys in Lorenzen Wright and Dikembe Mutombo.
And Lenny's pretty much telling you, Minnesota, we're going to cram it right down your throat inside.
Indeed.
Only one basket in the fourth quarter for the Hawks, but their lead stands at 7. Lorenzen will turn, fire, and hit.
And see, his confidence is just growing. Lorenzen Wright turns and faces and says, I can knock down this 12-foot jumper, no problem. He's 3 for 5, had the big game against Cleveland on Saturday night and continuing his way here.
Avery strips the cords. William Avery's got 4. He came in just 2 for 14 shooting the basketball this season in very limited minutes.
Well, he probably got a little home cooking, you know. He's back in Georgia. Augusta's only a couple hours or so away. Very impressive, Bob. You said all of that without looking at a note the verse. Quoting the stats and drafts and everything else. Amen to all of that.
Thank you, sir. 86-79 Atlanta. Isaiah Ryder with the fire and good.
Man, nicely done. Isaiah Ryder, difficult fall-away jump shot, high arc.
88-79. Hawks in front. Rasho Nesterovic back to the basket against Dikembe. Brandon to the cutting Serbiak. And Dikembe altered that shot.
Dikembe, magnificent once again, disrupting the Wolves.
25 rebounds for Mutombo. That's a new NBA high for one game this season. Ryder inside to Wright. Lorenzen couldn't get it up to the rim. Hammond Clears over to Avery. Serbiak powers in. That's going to be a blocking foul on Crawford.
I tell you what, that was excellent offense and looked like as good of defense. Crawford played that crossover dribble almost to perfection.
Lenny Wilkins out to midcourt to complain about it. But Dikembe with 25 rebounds tonight. That is a new NBA season high. 88-81 is the correct score. They did count that bucket for Serbiak, and he's going to go to the line. Let's check the AutoZone around the league scoreboard. Utah now 2-0 on their Eastern swing as they win big in Washington. Cleveland destroying Boston at the Gund. New York is up on Houston by 2. Toronto leading Indiana. And San Antonio in Dallas. Serbiak, 83% foul shooter, misses it. Timberwolves down 7, some very important free throws being missed here by Minnesota. Hammonds missed 1, now Serbiak.
Avery, the rookie, matched up against Isaiah Ryder. You can be sure a double team will come, though, as soon as he gets in a little closer vicinity.
And the foul on Hammonds. Muscling Dikembe.
His second.
That is the 14th foul on the Timberwolves in the period. Crawford gives it low to Isaiah. Underneath to right. Lorenzen in the lane to Crawford. The left-hand hook is good.
Nice catch and delivery by Chris Crawford in the lane, in traffic.
Avery penetrates, kicks. Serbiak up top to Garnett. Hands by Lorenzen Wright, and he takes it away from him.
Oh, what defense by Lorenzen Wright on Kevin Garnett.
Now Ryder spins in, spins out, trying to dish it to Dikembe, and it's out of bounds.
Well, very frustrating event for Ryder, who's picked up a few turnovers. That looked like what could be a very nice pass and a slam dunk, but gets a turnover instead.
5:15 left. That leaves the door open for the Timberwolves and negates that great defensive play by Lorenzen Wright. Garnett drills it. His first fourth quarter basket, 90-83. And a steal by Avery. Over to Brandon. Flip Saunders calls the play as Brandon goes wing. Daylight firing, missing, and the rebound to Crawford. Ryder works on the rookie.
Ryder can hardly use his spin move because the double team is coming before he can turn. That time does a good job of dishing without that move.
Ryder got hit on the arm and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Brandon. It's his first.
I tell you, Bob, this Minnesota defense is really stretching Ryder out. They're challenging him and making him work extremely hard to be effective on the offensive end. I have to give a lot of credit to Flip Saunders and his staff because they've scouted him well and have done an excellent job, as good as we've seen, of defending a very difficult player to defend.
Isaiah 1 of 2 at the free throw line tonight. Spins this one in. Tonight's points in the paint brought to you by Home Depot, proud sponsor of the hometown Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta piling up those points inside with 42. Jackson returns. Here's Crawford out of the ball game. Isaiah Ryder ready with his second shot. Good. 92-83 Atlanta. Brandon spins away from Ryder. Now it's Avery. Inside to Garnett. KG fade away. No good. Running rebound for Ryder. Or for Terry rather, running with Ryder. But now JT backs it up.
Ryder has a mismatch. He's got to go quickly, which he does.
Dikembe, another board and another basket. And Minnesota takes a timeout with 3:51 left. 3. 26 points, 26 rebounds, and he has helped create a plus 23 rebounding advantage over Minnesota and Kevin Garnett.
Well, we talked about Dame lane dominance, and Dikembe has done exactly that.
Garnett off the leg of Lorenzen Wright. Boy, Lorenzen has proven to be a tough take for Garnett in the fourth quarter.
He certainly has, Bob. He's kept his hands right in the pathway of the basketball. He's stolen one and slapped that one off his leg. So good hands, good defensive position by Lorenzen Wright.
10 seconds on the shot clock as Terrell Brandon gets a screen, shoots and misses halfway in the pipe and out.
And don't even think about a rebound.
That would be 27
Right.
for Mr. Mutombo. 94-83 Atlanta. His career high in rebounds, by the way, 31. JJ. He goes down. Ryder follows. We've got a foul on Minnesota. It's on Nesterovic, his fourth, a loose ball foul that puts Minnesota over the limit and will send Dikembe Mutombo to the free throw line, where tonight he's 4 out of 5.
Well, Dikembe had an interesting Sunday evening. He went to the White House and had dinner with President Clinton. Said he had a good dinner, really enjoyed himself. While he was also there, I got a chance to see his doctor from his collegiate days, who looked at his left elbow. It's still very swollen, Bob. I saw it in the locker room before the game, and he told him not to have it drained anymore, just to continue to ice it. And he said rest would be good. And Dikembe told me, he looked at him and laughed. He said, rest?
Yeah, that'll be about June.
Right.
The kick out. Here is Peeler nailing a three.
Peeler had the hot hand earlier. Comes back and hits that three.
95-86 Atlanta. 2:55 to go in the ball game. Jason Terry coming up against Terrell Brandon. And we've got a foul on William Avery, fighting Ryder for position. William Avery's second personal, and Ryder will shoot free throws.
Well, Avery, when you're a guard, a little guard, and you're playing against a big, strong, physical guard like Ryder, you want to deny him the ball. So you want to fight for that position, because you know if he gets it in close, he can just turn and shoot over you. So Avery, trying to defend that position, picks up the foul.
Isaiah shut out in the first half, has come back with 11 second half points. Don't forget, Thursday night the Lakers will be here. Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, all the gang. 7:30 game. Tickets are available, but they're going fast. Over 16,000 have been sold for that game. Only chance to see the Lakers this season comes Thursday night here at Phillips Arena. Tipped and stolen. Ryder with the over-the-shoulder grab. Ryder to the baseline. Ryder goaltending.
How about Isaiah Ryder talking about athletes? Nice pass from Jason Terry. He goes and catches it, and then makes this nice baseline move on a nice spin, and it's good.
William Avery with the three. Just his second three-pointer of the season. And Minnesota within 10, 2:20 to play. Jason Terry. And carried it. A palming violation. And Minnesota will have the basketball. 19th Atlanta turnover. Here's Avery. Into the paint, short. Got it back. Deke blocked that one. Garnett behind the back. And Nesterovic with the baby hook.
Very nice pass in traffic. Good court awareness by Garnett.
99-91. 1:47 left. Ryder, no good. Rebound, Deke reaches back to get that one. Boy, he got that one for his chiropractor. Here's Ryder, good. 101-91 Atlanta with 1:36 left. Boy, Dikembe Mutombo with 28 boards tonight, but that last one, no doubt the most difficult.
Yes.
Back at Phillips Arena in Atlanta, the Hawks with a 10-point lead, 1:36 to go in the game. Minnesota basketball. William Avery brings it up against Ryder.
Terrell Brandon for the three. Couldn't get him.
Garnett against Lorenzen Wright. Goes up with it, missed it. Rebound, Jason Terry. Terry quickly attacks. Hands it over to Jim Jackson. The fake, the fire, the bucket.
See, that's a guy who's worked on his craft. A guy that knows just when to step underneath, take the dribble, get a little closer, take advantage of the defensive player running at him. Excellent move.
Brandon for three. Will the basket count? A whistle was no basket. What was the violation?
For the basket, 3-point field goal for Terrell Brandon. No foul.
Now they're saying count the basket and no foul. So give Brandon the three. And congratulations to Kevin Garnett, his second career triple-double. That behind-the-back pass a moment ago gave him his 10th assist. Ryder fires it to Jackson. And Jackson buries another jump shot.
Jackson just froze the defense with the little pump fake. Scored the jumper right in the face.
Avery for three. No good. And Dikembe Mutombo knocks it into the seats. His 5th block of the night. What a game.
Dikembe is giving up nothing in the lane on either end. Take a look. Looks like a nice opportunity to try your hook shot, but nope, you're still in the house of Mutombo.
35 seconds to go. Avery. Air ball inside. Another rejection from Mutombo. His 6th.
Beats every 5.
Isaiah Ryder works a little clock.
JJ and Deke say, pull it out, Isaiah. Hold it long as you want it.
5 to shoot. Ryder penetrates. Ryder pops. No good. Rebound Garnett. 5 seconds. 4. Brandon for 3. No good. Deke gets the final rebound of the night.
The rich get richer.
Dikembe Mutombo absolutely overpowered the Minnesota Timberwolves. 27 points, 29 rebounds, and 6 block shots. Did not miss a shot. 11 for 11.
What a night for Dikembe Mutombo. A dream night when everything went for him and nothing went for the opponent against him.
And Deke getting the high fives all the way back to the locker room. What a game for Dikembe. We're back at Phillips Arena as the Hawks have defeated Minnesota 105-94, and without question, the player of the game joins us next, Dikembe Mutombo. Deke, our congratulations. That was as overpowering a performance as we have ever seen. You didn't miss a shot. You got every rebound in sight. Fantastic.
No, I think I came out yesterday after practice, and I told my guys that I was going to come out, play hard as I can, and get 20-20. And most of them did believe in me, and I just came in and showed them that I was talking about the truth.
Well, Dikembe, now you've had some big games scoring and some big games rebounding. I don't know if we've never seen you put the both together in this way before. Have you ever had this kind of game in both categories?
I don't know. I remember if you look at my history a little bit, I had about 39 against Minnesota in my career. Right. So it was like a flashback. I was like, oh, I'm going back again in the old way.
But you were surprised. You didn't realize you didn't miss a shot.
I didn't know. I'm very surprised that I was 11 for 11. This is great, and I'm enjoying it. It's a great week, and we have 2 more big games coming up. I'm looking for that.
Let me ask you, how's the elbow?
I'm hanging there.
Your doctor said to give it some rest, and you showed him the schedule.
I can't get no rest right now. I know that my team needs me so bad, and I have to do whatever I have to do to be there with them.
Shaq's coming in Thursday night. I know you want to see this place full. Time to send a message to Mr. Shaquille O'Neal.
I think we're looking for that games. There's no way we're going to let them come out and just embarrass us in our own stadium. we're going to come on, be fired up from the beginning and play the way we play tonight. I think we have a chance.
Dikembe, the team is much better when they go inside and give you some touches and some opportunities. Was that part of the focus tonight to give?
I think I was a little bit frustrated the way we did play in Cleveland for the fact that they didn't have a center, and I only took 2 shots. And I talked to my coaches about it, talked to my teammates, and I got a chance to talk to Bimbo after the game when I was going to the hotel. I said, Bimbo, there's no way. You're the one who's our leader up there. Give me the chance to touch the ball. I don't have to shoot it. But I'm glad that he responded on that.
Well, Deke, our congratulations.
Thank
we thank you for coming by.
Thank
Fantastic
you, guys.
game.
Thank you.